The old model of last century was indeed this idea that the leader is a superhero who is there to save the day, probably the smartest person in the room, and unfortunately too often driven by power, fame, glory, or money. And that's dangerous. And plus, that doesn't work, right? We could, if we could see your audience, we would ask them, raise your hand if you like to be told what to do. If you're driving, please don't raise your hand, right? But nobody likes to be told what to do. And we want to be part of the journey and the solution. So this approach, nobody wants to follow these kind of leaders. Now, don't get me wrong, there are certain circumstances where you want the leader, if the ship is sinking, like it was at Best Buy in 2012, you want a leader who is able to be decisive. But that doesn't mean that he's not going to involve others in the decision-making process, and he's going to mobilize. And maybe we'll talk about it, but it's all about creating energy, and so the leadership model today is very much somebody who is clear about their purpose, and who's able to create the right environment, and is caring, and is vulnerable, and is very human. That's right. Very different.
Yeah, I can't wait to get into